The State of DeFi in 2025 H1. There has been a long road for decentralized finance until we got to this point in time. Much has happened in the past and much is yet to happen in the future, but what about the present? With this video, we start a weekly mini-series that will last 4 weeks, looking at DeFi, especially for non-EVM ecosystems, as there are already an avalanche of content and research pieces looking at Ethereum virtual machine compatible protocols. To ignite these discussions, first let's look at the state of DeFi in the first half of 2025. The series is sponsored by XOXNO Network, but was done independently by me. Hello, I am vinibarbosabr and I have produced blockchain-related content professionally since 2020, having worked with leading players in this industry, now gone independent. I have over 10,000 hours of research and content creation, and I have been taking 100% of my payments in crypto for 1.5 years, being a heavy DeFi user. According to DeFi Llama, there are over $140 billion locked in all DeFi protocols, stablecoins, some up to over $250 billion, over $260 billion in market cap, and traded daily volume surged above $15 billion. This is not a small feat. Millennium and Citadel, the United States' two largest hedge funds, reportedly have together $137.1 billion in assets under management. AUM includes all the fund's reportedly net assets, excluding hedging techniques like margin operations, seen on RAUM. Disclaimer: the total value locked (TVL) measures all assets that are somehow staked into the hundreds of DeFi protocols running on top of each blockchain. It's an important metric that can partially reflect the overall interest, usage, and confidence of investors in these protocols and blockchains, often used together with their tokens' capitalization for fundamental analysis. Yet, like any metric, it must be evaluated together with a proper context, proper understanding, and in comparison to other indicators for better insights. DeFi Llama is also one of the most trusted sources for decentralized finance metrics, keeping a plausible neutrality by, for example, refusing large sums of money quote-unquote to benefit some projects. Nevertheless, like any human being, the people involved in its development surely have their biases. Looking at different sources should also be part of any due diligence for more in-depth understanding. Back to the numbers now. Most of this reported capital is being used on EVM chains like Ethereum, all its L2s, BNB Chain, Tron, Hyperliquid, Avalanche, Polygon, Sonic, and so on. For comparison, the top 10 EVM chains have nearly 100 billion TVL, out of the over $140 billion. Ethereum alone holds over $100 billion, more than Millennium's reported $72 billion. However, non-EVM chains have been improving and growing over time, also increasing their market share according to key metrics like TVL and, more specifically, DEX volumes. Users, devs, and investors have been migrating to non-EVM chains due to the use of more advanced technology, higher decentralization, and security standards, better developer experience, DevEx, higher performance, and scalability. One thing that contributes to making it happen is also the state of cross-chain swaps and chain abstraction techniques, connecting the pieces of what was a fragmented liquidity pool. Now, different virtual machines can communicate, unifying the entire DeFi ecosystem and removing the need to build around single standard, like ERC for example. Among some of the top non-EVM chains, we have Solana, with a $10 billion TVL, $11 billion in stablecoins, $2.5 billion in DEX volume in the last 24 hours, and a market cap 10x higher than its TVL. Sui, with a $2 billion TVL, $900 million in stablecoins, $400 million in DEX volume in the last 24 hours, and a market cap 6x higher than its TVL. Aptos, with a $1 billion TVL, $1.4 billion in stablecoins, $168 million in DEX volume in the last 24 hours, and a market cap 3.5x higher than its TVL. Say, with a nearly $700 million TVL, 300 million stablecoins, 37 million index volume in the last 24 hours, and a market cap 3x higher its TVL. Cardano, with a nearly $400 million TVL, $32 million in stablecoins, $5 million in DEX volume in the last 24 hours, and a market cap 82x higher than its TVL. Near, with a nearly $200 million TVL, $37 million in stablecoins, over $100 million in DEX volume in the last 24 hours, and a market cap 20x higher its TVL. Algorand, with a $9 million TVL, $75 million in stablecoins, $1 million in DEX volume in the last 24 hours, and a market cap 29x higher than its TVL. MultiversX, with a $54 million TVL, $11 million in stablecoins, $1 million in DEX volume in the last 24 hours, and a market cap 9.5 higher than its TVL. Together, they sum up to $14.5 billion in TVL, $13.75 billion in stablecoin market cap, and $3.2 billion in 24-hour DEX volume. The TVL is equivalent to what BlackRock has reported of digital assets inflow in 2025 Q2 alone, representing 10% of the market's total value locked that we have seen before. They also have 5% of the stablecoin capitalization and 21% of the 24-hour volume as of July 21. They are also not all the non-EVM chains. There are much more, but we don't have enough time to look at them all in this piece. You can surely do your own research around the chains you like the most. As we wrap up this first episode, it's interesting to note how the overall metrics have been growing over time. TVL recovering after 2021's top and 2023's bottom, while stablecoins and volume showing a constant growth over the years. In the following weeks, we will be diving into a few protocols from some of these chains. We will explore decentralized exchanges, lending and borrowing, and some significant innovations moving the space further. If you enjoyed it as much as I did, make sure to give it a like and share this around. Follow me on X and subscribe to my YouTube channel, both at vinibarbosabr. Also, follow our sponsor XOXNO and visit its website at xoxno.com. See ya!